IHTN presents
IHTN Sports.
Welcome to Tomahawk Stadium for the Indian Hill Braves versus Seven Hills Stingers tonight. Facing off tonight for the Braves will be Sam Markowitz. These two teams are notorious for putting on a good show. Out of 10 of the top 10 scorers in the nation, we've got 4 of them who are in the top 10 playing tonight. For the Braves, we'll have Ben Frazier and Brad Collins. We'll also have, for Seven Hills, we'll have top scorers will be George Favell and Andrew Head. Joining me tonight in the booth will be Mike Fruland, who is joining me right now as we have the national anthem sung here at the stadium, getting ready for tonight's contest. Field tonight are the Indian Hill Braves starters. At attack will be Ben Frazier. Carl Koster. Matt Carrier. Brad Collins. Austin Schneider are on the offensive side of the field tonight, and for the Braves in the defense will be number 5, Patrick Amato. And our captains tonight for the Braves are senior goalie Matt Young, attackman Brad Collins, attackman Ben Frazier, and number 17 Michael Hamilton, who's a defenseman. Starting for the Seven Hills Stingers tonight, number 4, Leo Freed, number 3, Andrew Head, number 5 is
Michael Hamilton, and Matt Young.
Number 5 is Georgie Favell, number 21 for the Stingers, Jackson Callow. Number 11, Tucker Robinson. And in cage for the Stingers tonight, number 18 is George Garmacano. Facing off at the X tonight for the Braves is number 28, Sam Markowitz. And for the Stingers is number 28 as well, Ike Lanier. Well, the Braves come into this contest with a winning record. The first possessions won by the Stingers, who quickly turn it over to the Braves going out of bounds. Braves come into this contest with a 6-2 record, and the Stingers are at 8-2 for the season. Mike, what do you think the game's going to look like tonight?
I'm not sure. I was just going to ask you, Rob, what we can expect from Seven Hills.
Well, we have 4 of the top 10 scorers in the state. 2 of our own, Ben Frazier and Brad Collins. And obviously, our clearing game is going to be great. Here we go, fast break, cut across. Ben Frazier with the score. With 11:36 left in the first half, Ben Frazier with an assist from number 11, Austin Schneider.
Ben Frazier picking up right where he left off the other night against Wyoming.
Take over.
So it's 1-0 Indian Hill. A very quick transition goal by Ben Frazier. Starting with a very nice clear from Matt Young on the turnover. Face off X again. Indian Hill ball. Move it up the wing. Passing it down to the attack. Moving it back to the X. Swinging it around, getting the offense set up.
Sorry about that, Mike. We had a little bit of technical difficulty. We got Matt Carrier up top, number 3, dodging a pass, number 11, bringing it back, cutting it in to Carl Koster, who loses the ball to the goalie, number 19. Bringing it out. Matt Carrier's riding number 11, Tough. 2 players that we need to watch for the Seven Hills Stingers tonight are Andrew Head, number 3, and number 5, Georgie Favell. The 2 of them both are ranked in the top 10 in the state in scoring. Favell's leading the state in goals this season through 8 games with 54. Back behind
Andrew Head back to X.
So, Mike, we were talking a little bit about what to expect in the game tonight. Seven Hills is known for a very fast transition game. I think if we can control the transition game and the Braves can control the ball, I think this will be a very high-scoring game for the Braves and very low-scoring for Seven Hills. If we don't control the transition game, Seven Hills is known to put up a lot of points.
Well, our transition game looked good on that last series. They said Ben Frazier picked up right where he left off.
Another turnover by Seven Hills. Here we go on the fast break. Number 2, Zach Schneider coming up the field, past the 50 to the 40, bringing it into the offensive box to his brother, Austin Schneider, who's swinging it back around the back. So right now, the Braves are definitely controlling it. We need to control the tempo of this game by burning up the clock. Our best defense this year has been possession and allowing our defense to play settled ball. Wide shot by Collins on that goalie for Seven Hills, brings the ball up to the midline for Seven Hills is number 45. Bring it across to see if the Braves stop this transition game. This is what they're known for. Nice save by Young.
You know, you say it's going to be to our advantage to possess the ball and take it easy on offense and control the pace, but it sure looked like we're pushing it pretty hard those last couple of possessions. So
Here's the challenge for Seven Hills. Indian Hill has on the field at any given time 6 scorers, and their defense keeps getting stronger and stronger. Seven Hills really only has 3 guys that score. It's another turnover for Seven Hills, picked up by Rory, who's bringing the ball up to number 5, and Ben Frazier picks it up past the midfield. This game could get chippy.
it looks like it might already be there.
Turnover by the Braves on a body check by number 11. There goes Seven Hills with their wide shot. Ball's awarded to Seven Hills. So the Braves need to set up their defense here and definitely play settled ball. Number 4 is Leo Freed, who's their 3rd top scorer. Of note with this Seven Hills team is they only have 1 senior that actually starts and maybe 2 that actually see the fields. This is a heavy 2015-2016 team and is bound to be even stronger and better next year, as the Braves will be graduating 14 seniors. So this is a matchup that could be very interesting next year, Mike. So as the Stingers are trying to set up their offense and swings the ball out behind the cage, rolling to the inside, and a nice stick check by number 5, Matt Young, to Carrier for the clear as Carrier brings the ball upfield, catching Georgie Favell off the mark. And Carrier gets his touch as we have substitution coming into the game for the Braves, Jimmy Salamini. Will bring the ball down the right side of the left side of the cage. Swing it down to Frazier, who's taking it back to the X to Austin Schneider. To Collins, out top to Ben Brendamore, to Jimmy Salamini. So the Braves have put in their gunpowder. Nice save by the goalie for Seven Hills.
Nice man ball there by Collins.
Brendamore with the ball, bringing it in, passing it back to X. Salamini mishandles the ball, but picks it up at the 40. You know, Mike, the Braves have really done a great job of winning the possession game this season. I'd like to see their shots on goal percentage go up. They're winning usually the ground ball game against all their opponents this year. They are in the top of the state on ground balls. They're on top of the state in possession. Brad Collins with a shot. A little bit of a hold there. And a little bit of ground ball. Let's see who wants this ball bad enough. It looks like Seven Hills is going to win that ground ball battle. And Seven Hills in transition. And they score. George Favell with the score off of Andrew Head with the assist. So it's a 1-1 game, Mike, with 5:37 left in the game. As the Stingers have shown why they're so potent in transition. Those young players for them know how to take care of the ball. Several of those players play for the Cincy Royals in the summertime, Mike, traveling out east to get better and stronger, and it's evident that it's paid off because they are handling the ball much better than they did last year against the Braves.
Your comment about Indian Hill controlling the ball and the loose balls and the turnovers, but not maybe putting it on goal as often as they should, is exactly what's happened so far tonight. We've certainly had the advantage of ball possession. We've had the advantage of moving the ball in good shots. We just haven't been able to put them in the goal as often as maybe we should.
The shot selection is going to be important. George is known to have great games, but if we can score on them early and change planes on our shots, I think it'll be trouble for him. Shot by Schneider goes wide and high. Austin Schneider starts the ball. Ben Frazier coming around the side of the cage. Of course, he's picking up the long stick in the quick double. He dishes the ball to number 2, Zach Schneider, who dishes it to Matt Carrier. Who dishes the ball back up top. And again, you know, that was a shot straight to the goalie. We have to learn how to change planes. You can't go high to high. It's got to be high to low, low to high.
You know, Carl Koster's been doing real well at that so far this year on the bounce shot from that position. He gets that stick up so high and shoots it down. It's really difficult for the goalie to pick it up. But you're right, that one went right straight into the goalie's stick.
Well, let's see if the Braves can get this ball back on defense.
Burton Horn there. Not sure what that is.
Not sure what was going on there. Oh, the scoreboard.
Is the clock not running?
I'm not sure.
Like time adjustment.
Nice turnover for the Braves as Seven Hills does not take care of the ball there. And we get it into our offensive box as Ryan Mulaney, who's been playing fantastic defense this year for us, will come off the field for the substitution as Matt Carrier comes in. So again, Mike, we're at 4:23 in the first quarter. It's a 1-1 game, and the Braves score
Beautiful
again off a great
by
bounce
Sam
shot.
Schneider.
This is where the Braves have to capitalize, Mike. Georgia's an adequate goalie, but if we change planes, it becomes a whole different game for him. And Zach Schneider showed exactly how you do that. You shoot the ball low with a great bounce that changes planes on the goalie, and the goalie gets stuck low and can't get up high enough.
Textbook alley dodge. That shot to his offhand. Bounce it. Very difficult to stop.
Sam Markowitz with another face-off win against Ike Lanier. That one was a clean win by Sam, who's done a fantastic job for us at the face-off.
Austin Schneider running the offense from the attack position. Brings it back out top. Another alley dodge on the other side.
Coster loses the ball.
They're really forcing it into Carl tonight. That must be one of their game plans, because that's the third time they've gone into him on that pass tonight.
Like you said, Mike, Carl's done a great job. He creates a lot of havoc for defenses because at 6'9", shot wide by Salamini.
That would go under the one more step rule.
Yeah.
He had one more, give himself an angle. That would have.
Here we go, transition ball for Seven Hills as they bring it up to the 30 into their offensive box. They're gonna push the pace here. It's gonna be important
great
for our
defense. Matt Young comes out of the goal to get the ball and gets hung up. Great help from the defense to pick up the ball.
and Finn Quibel with the ground ball. He's gonna bring it back to Young, I'm sure, for this to set up their clear. Who clears it out to the midfield to Brenda Moore. To see if Carl Coster can pick up the ground ball. He needs to get a touch. There we go. We got our. Now we can set up our offense. So with 2:30 left here, the Braves have been playing great defense. The only score that Seven Hills and the Braves score again, 3-1, 2:23 left.
Bounce shot.
So, Mike, as I was saying, the Braves' offense creates a very unique situation for defenses because we have 6 guys on the field at any given time that can score. When we put Carl Coster in on the field in the middle there, it forces them to collapse their defense, which allows our midfielders to be covered by shorties. And as you've seen, they're very capable of dodging and shooting the bounce shot and putting it in goal.
Well, I'm sure that the fact that they've gone to Carl several times already early in the game is partly why these alley dodges have been so open, because the defender's reluctant to step away from Carl in the crease. It's just a matter of time before he gets one. Not sure what that was. It looked like
Salamini with the ground ball. Pull it back out. And he does. He pulls the ball back out to Zach Schneider, who's going to set up our offense. Zach Schneider on the left side of the cage is going to dodge against Ike Lanier. He's bring it back out. Ball out to Salamini, who fakes the shot, pulls it back out.
very tight defense on top of Salamini.
Well, they've gone to 2-3s. Frazier with the shot wide. It'll be Braves ball. Again, for those that are joining us for lacrosse for the first time here on the IHTN Sports Channel, in lacrosse, unlike most sports, when the ball goes out of bounds on an offensive shot, whoever's closest to the ball retains possession.
Oh,
and great assist from Brad Collins to Ben Frazier, who scores 4-1 with 1:13 left in the first quarter. So again, those 3 deep holes are sucking in on Carl Coster, opening up the alleys for the Braves, and they've capitalized on it.
I would suspect that maybe not in this quarter. It's only a minute 13 left in the first quarter, but you'll see Carl Koster gets some goals in the middle, because the defense is going to start to reverse and pull back out on the middies, Packman on the wings.
This is a great ground ball by Matt Carrier for the face-off win. So again, Indian Hills dominating at the X, which is giving us the possession game. We're controlling the ball on offense. Scoreboard indicates that, and I think we're going to end this game probably with the last shot. Let's see if the Braves settle in here and take their time to get what they want. Pass was a little low to Koster on that. Let's see if Frazier's going to get the ground ball. Gotta take care of the ball, boys. Let's get our offense set up.
Down inside of 30 seconds. See if they set it up and go for one last shot.
So just like in basketball, what we're doing, what the Indian Hill coaches are doing with Carl Koster is kind of setting him up inside. And that's probably going to end the quarter with the ball going out of bounds. 10 seconds left is going to go to Seven Hills. Braves need to stay vigilant here. Shut down the offense for Seven Hills.
Transition play.
And this is going to be a turnover, and that's how the quarter's going to end with the Braves 4-1 leading the Seven Hills Stingers. You know, the great thing about this and the growth of lacrosse, Mike, in this area is Seven Hills 4 years ago barely had a high school team. Today they're ranked number 20th in the state. The Braves are ranked at 15th. So this is a great matchup for the Braves, a great opportunity for the Braves once again to earn some power rating points and dominate the game, especially if we can keep putting scores on the board and our defense can keep the Stingers out of their transition game.
It's apparent from the one play that Seven Hills has power on offense in their transition game anyway. We haven't seen them produce much in their set offense, but it's clear that they can move the ball and score pretty quickly if we're not paying attention on getting back on defense.
So looking at the win-losses, right now the Braves come in here with only 2 losses, and both their losses are to D1 foes. They lost to Moeller in overtime 11-12, and they lost to Loveland the other night last week 7-13. But the Braves have been dominating the field. They're averaging almost 13 points a game and allowing only about 8 goals a game. Coming into the season, the youngest part of our game, and not necessarily in classmen, but as far as experience, was our defense. And every game we've seen the defense get stronger and stronger and stronger, more cohesive, more tight. And you can see in a settled situation, Seven Hills hasn't been able to score tonight, Mike. It's only in that transition game that they were able to score. So if we can slow down their transition, if we can control the ball offensively, I think we're going to see a very high-scoring game going Indian Hills' way. And the Braves could very easily have 12, 13 points, and Seven Hills may only get 3 or 4.
You predicted that before the game started. It sure appears that that's the way it might go. Talking about the Loveland game the other night, the final score was 13-7, but what we did in the last quarter of that game, it could have been much, much closer. We could have even won that game, but it was the same thing that we were talking about tonight. We just couldn't put the ball past the goalie, and it wasn't necessarily, while their goalie was very good, a lot of times it was just placement of the shots and positioning on their shots. We were getting plenty of open looks and shots that just wasn't going in that night for us. So I don't think 13-7 is indicative of how close that game really was.
And Sam Markowitz once again wins the face-off, bring it down to the offensive end. And the Braves are playing disciplined ball. You know, a year ago, Sam Markowitz as a sophomore would have won that face-off, which he was very capable of doing last year. He showed how good he was at face-off last year. But he would come barreling down the field and take a shot really quick and go wide or outside, or the goalie would make the stop, and then the transition game would be there, and we'd be caught off our feet. Sam's been playing very patient, and
Collins looked like he got hit up near the head, but no flag.
So here we go, transition ball for. And as you can see, Seven Hills has some wheels. You know, it's not that they aren't athletic. And here we go. Seven Hills gets the touch.
Well, Well, they got
you know what? I think if we
that
show
was
a replay on this,
stumble as opposed to a push, but they're going to call Zach Schneider for a push with possession on that.
I think if we saw a replay, I think that was a clean hit by Zach Schneider. I think the guy stumbled on his own feet
It
trying
almost
to
looked
get.
like he could have rolled his ankle or something the way he fell. It didn't look like it was.
So we're going extra man opportunity for Seven Hills here. The first extra man opportunity for the day. Braves will show how tough their man down defense has been. And you're going to see Seven Hills move the ball around here. The guys that they're trying to get it to, number 5, George Favell, who has a cannon from the outside. Number 3, Leo Freed. And number 11, Andrew Head. And as you can see, they've got those guys spaced out. You got Freed down behind X. You got George Favell out at the left wing. And you got Andrew Head up top on the right wing. Bring it back to Favell, who's going to try to get around his defender. And that ball's gone errant, and we're back to even ball play here. So the Braves are able to hold off the extra man opportunity. That'll make Seven Hills 0-1 on extra man opportunities. The Braves are 1-0 on man down defense, which is a great stat for the Braves.
Good, John. Hey, double. All right, turn. Good job. Right.
You know, Mike, one of the things that should be noted is the Braves are. And we're going to go down. We're going to go man down again for a hold. Another 30-second call on number 28, Sam Markowitz. So the Braves are going to be playing man down again for 30 seconds here. That'll take us to the 9:32 mark in the second quarter. There's been no score. The Braves have been man down twice. Let's see if they can stop Seven Hills here. Again, on their extra man opportunity here, they've got number 3, Leo Freed out there. I'm sorry, Andrew Head's number 3, Leo Freed's number 4. Number 11 is Tucker Robinson, and number 5 is George Favell. And here comes the shot. Oh, Favell fakes it, tries to toe drag it, and pulls back out as the defender collapses on him. This could be a turnover for 10 seconds left in the extra man opportunity. I don't think Seven Hills is going to be able to score on this. Nice save by Young. And the Braves get the ball, and we're all back to even. As Finn Quibel shows what kind of speed he has bringing the ball up the field. Matt Carrier gets the ball and brings it into the box. You know, of note should be for Seven Hills, one of the guys that really helped Indian Hill build their program is Indian Hill native Mike Collette, and he's done a fantastic job in the last 5 years of building this Seven Hills team at the middle school level. He coaches their middle school and has built a great set of players for Seven Hills at the high school level over the last 4 or 5 years. Mike Collette coached most of these seniors when they were in 7th grade at Indian Hill, so he knows these kids. Mike Collette also is the president of the Royals, and that's a turnover on the Braves. It's going to go out of bounds here. Nice save by John Edwards, who kicks the ball back to Ben Brendamore, who's going to take a shot. Nice save by the goalie. Nice check by the Braves. This is going to come up Braves ball again. Nice job riding on that transition.
It's very clear that ball control and possession of loose balls is definitely in the favor of Indian Hill tonight.
Oh, that's off the rail. That was close. You know, one of the things that I've noticed this year with the officiating is there's a lot of inconsistency. What 21 just did to Matt Carey there was really a hold. Oh, off the rail again to their deep hole.
Oh.
And they're going to go for transition here. Let's see if the Braves can stay with them, slow them up. Number 3 down to number 5, George Favell. An Indian Hill native who grew up playing this game in the youth ranks at Indian Hill. By the way, tonight is Future Braves night here at Tomahawk Stadium. We are still holding our our campaign for the Dome. If you'd like to contribute, you're more than welcome to bring the funds up to the press box and turn them over to Jeff Zitteron. He takes checks, credit cards, and of course cash. Nice save by Young. Matt Young has got about a 63-64% save ratio this year so far.
Oh, that was a dangerous pass to Jimmy Salamini as he ran into the.
And it's clear the Braves are trying to slow things up here.
Good ride by Austin Schneider.
Austin Schneider coming up the field.
Oh, last-ditch effort dive to try and get the butt end of his stick.
Ball down. Young with the ball. So another turnover by Seven Hills. That's about the 5th turnover. The Braves have got to take care of the ball here.
Indian Hills looking a little bit sloppy with the ball. See him settle it down here and just get in control of the game here again. It seemed like it was going back and forth for a little while there.
But when you're up 4-1 in the second quarter, you can't blame the guys for trying to step up the tempo, because there are going to be games that they've got to step up the tempo. Braves are taking shots now, and they've hit the rail several times. This game could easily be 8-1 right now, but the Braves have not been able to connect. Let's see if Carl bounces the ball over top of the cage. It's going to be Braves ball. And the Braves quickly restart it, bring it back to Frazier. Right idea.
Loose ball. Brendamore. Rip
shot high. Be restarted by the Braves again with 5:04 left in the game. So the ball's up top on the right side to Ben Brendamore, who's dodging against number 21. Seven Hills is coached by 3 brothers, the Greiwe brothers. Nick is the head coach, Zach Greiwe and Ben Greiwe, along with...
There, Carl Koster got one from
Carl
the top.
Koster. Is that an assist by Collins?
I believe so.
So the Braves go up 5-1 with 4:32.
He had his hands free, and he put one right in the upper corner off the ground.
You know, I like the shot selection they're taking. They haven't hit it every time, but they're firing a lot. They're putting them on cage. They're hitting rail. They're winning the ground ball battle. They're fighting for every possession. And the Braves have been definitely controlling this game. Seven Hills taking a timeout again. The Seven Hill Stingers are coached by Nick Greiwe, he's the head coach. Zach Greiwe and Ben Greiwe. And Dan Santos is their defensive coach. There's this year's Indian Hill varsity team. And one of the things you'll notice in there is a heavy roster of seniors. You got Brad Collins on the front row, Ben Frazier, Austin Schneider, Rory Perlman, Matt Carrier, Ben Brendamore, Sam Markowitz, and Tommy Logeman. Looks like Fen Quibel, Cam McMillan, Matt Young, Zach Schneider, Mac Sudbrock, John Edwards, Carl Koster in the center, Mr. Trout, got Michael Hamilton, Ryan Hill, and not sure who the last one was that I didn't get to.
Here you go, Sam.
So here we go, back out at the face-off. You've got number 28 against number 28. That's Ike Lanier and Sam Markowitz. You know, the great thing about this face-off matchup today is those two guys played together last summer on the same team and faced off against each other every day in practice. So I think that's part of why we're seeing some great face-offs where they're getting tied up, and there we go. Sam Markowitz with the face-off win again, and we get a touch, and Sam's going to bring it back out up top, dish it off to Collins.
You know, that's such a huge
it off to
advantage,
Zach.
winning the face-offs in a game. If you can dominate the face-offs, it gives you all those extra possessions, and it keeps the other team from from having the ball. Sometimes
Salamini with a shot
Salamini
just
with a
wide.
shot.
Braves back the ball up. Austin Schneider will start it on the whistle.
Back to the X. Ben Frazier working it back around to the wing. Austin Schneider going back to X. Back to the top to Zach Schneider.
Zach Schneider
for an
dodging
alley
against
dodge,
Ike
coming
Lanier,
down.
pulling it back out,
Back.
getting it up to Jimmy Salamini, who takes the
Salamini.
shot, and a save by the goalie. Those are easy saves when you're shooting from 15 yards out, but Seven Hills has not been able to clear this ball very effectively, as again they've turned the ball over, and it's going to be
a beautiful ground ball.
It'll be Austin Schneider with the ball.
He can come up with it. Still fighting for it.
Nope, it's still a ground ball. And the ball is going to be awarded to the Braves on a push. So Ben Frazier starts the ball here. Another missed clear opportunity for Seven Hills. Frazier shoots and goes wide. And got to fight for those ground balls, boys, as we move into transition game.
Transition, see if they can get something going here.
10's going to get the touch. 10 is Julius Beretta for Seven Hills. You think he might have a gun?
I was going to say something like that, but I wasn't sure if that was.
I was talking about his shot, Mike. You think his shot
I'm sure he
is
does.
a gun?
Yes.
No, Jimmy Salamini has a gun for a shot.
Yes, he sure does. I would imagine if Beretta does it, he should.
Another save by Young.
Nice save by Matt. That's a tough shot to stop, too, because he was using the defender as a screen and just shot that ball low on the ground.
Zach Schneider's going to get it up top. Let's see. I think we might need a timeout here. See if Rory can bring it across the field, bring it up to the midfield. It's going to be a turnover.
Can't handle it, but he comes
Austin
up with
Schneider
it on the
comes up with
mishandle
it.
by the deep hole.
Score, Carl Koster.
Koster gets another one. Now what I'm seeing here is Carl's gotten 2 goals tonight, but both of them were from 10 to 12 yards out. Typically he's in there around 6 or 7 yards out. I think they're moving him out a little bit further to maybe draw that deep hole away, and he's not taking the bait.
But, and of note, today was senior signing day at Indian Hill. Carl Koster has signed to play basketball at Hamilton College up in New York. He's a great four-man at the post for the Indian Hill Braves this year, and will be continuing his basketball career in college. And we have a little bit of a yard sale out there as Sam Markowitz wins another face-off.
That Sam lost the face-off, but was pretty intense on recovering it and knocked the ball loose with a good stick check.
Point well taken. That's what I like about Sam. Even when he doesn't win the face-off, he gets a lot of possessions for us just off his tenacity. And it's a shot by Frazier that goes wide, out of bounds by
Ben seems to be pulling all the shots out tonight. That looked like a Canadian backhand. Here's Carl Koster again, and he's got a hat trick.
Shot and score by Carl Koster. So the Braves are showing very quickly how difficult they are to defend. They've pulled out all the stops. We've had 4 different guys score. Carl Koster has scored 3. It's a great night for Carl to show that he's come into his own in this game.
I want to roll the tape back about 10 minutes, Rob. I believe I predicted that.
I think you did.
I said, as soon as the deep holes start drawing out on the attack in the midi, Carl's going to have his night. And I believe that's what's happening. And I think you're also right. This could be a very high-scoring game because they can't.
Another win by the Braves on face-off.
We're just absolutely dominant on the possession.
And that's sophomore.
Tim McKay's calling a timeout for Indian Hill.
Well, it's great to see some young guys out there. That was number 31 with the ground ball on the face-off, Kai Noor, who is accelerating. When Kai gets his IQ up to speed with the varsity game, he's going to be a dominant player at the defense for us.
Well, as you said, they're going to need to do that as the season goes on when they get the opportunity to get some of these younger guys in because they have a whole bunch of seniors leaving after this year.
So with a minute 1 left. The Indian Hill Braves take a timeout to just keep possession. We were risking a turnover there by not getting it down into our offensive zone quick enough. Smart call by the coaching staff, settle it down, get our offense out there, and let's see if the Braves try to control this and go for one more goal this quarter. Or are they going to open up the floodgates and try to score twice?
Well, I was going to say, from what I've been seeing so far, I'm not sure three's out of the question, Rob. They seem like they haven't tried to control the offense and possess the ball too much tonight. They've been going right at the goal. All their shooters are shooting tonight, so, which is good to see.
Well, the defense is playing great defense. I don't, yeah, our offense is full of firepower, but what's really happened is our defense has shut down the transition game. They're playing tight. Young's had a couple great saves. We're clearing the ball much more effectively than we did 2 weeks ago, getting our clears running right. And the Braves are doing a great job of controlling this game through possession. As Brendan Moore loses control of the ball, this is going to be a fast break
transition
opportunity.
play now.
Here comes the transition.
Advantage if they keep it running, and it seems like they're slowing
And the Braves have done a great job of, again, shutting down the transition game, and that's the key.
Very nice.
That was missed ball handling by the Braves on that play, and this ball is going to go back to the Braves, I think. Yep, it's out of bounds, Braves ball. So it's going to be about 43 seconds left in the half with the Braves and the ball. I think we're going for one shot now, Mike.
I think probably you're right.
Going to clear it up through the middle by Finn Quibel, who's looking for an open guy, who gets it out to Rory Perlman, who's going to bring it across the field, who's going to pick up some pressure from number 10. And Perlman gets his touch, dishes the ball to number 2, Zach Schneider. He's going to bring it back down to Ben Frazier, who's going to swing it through the X behind the goal here to set up the offense with 15 seconds left. Frazier rolling the cage, getting the ball out of his stick with a little bit of a stick check. That's going to be a push.
Nope, they didn't get the push. They just turned it over 7 yards.
So 4.5 seconds with a turnover. A little bit of sloppy ball handling by the Braves on that possession. They're just going to go for the quick clear. Young's going to get the ball in the half. Braves 7-1. So the Braves are up 7-1 at halftime. This is exactly what I think Seven Hills didn't want.
The Indian Hill Television Network produces coverage of many of the school sporting events, so be sure to catch all the boys and girls action on this community access channel. For playback times in your area, call the ICRC at 772-4272 or visit their website at www.icrctv.com. Coverage of tonight's game on the Indian Hill Television Network is a presentation of the Indian Hill High School Video Department. The Video Department provides the community with educational and school-focused programming through the facilities of the ICRC.
From the IHTN studios, it's Braves Beat.
Good morning, Indian Hill, and welcome to Braves Beat. I'm English teacher, Mr. Millard.
Salvete omnes, mihi nomen est magistra Burgess. I hope you all have been appreciating your teachers this week. Let's get on with the news.
Last week, we took part in our annual democratic process of electing our school's leadership for next year. After a 74% school-wide voter turnout, our new president-elects include student body president Jason Lidman, senior class president Mark Masali, junior class president Keyshawn Sheth, and our sophomore class president Amelia Guzman. Let's work hard with these leaders to continue our overall goal of school unity and spirit.
Track all-star Wells Colfleet recently broke the 27-year-old men's 400-meter sprint school record by 0.0 seconds with a time of 50.83 seconds. Be sure to congratulate him if you see him in the halls.
In other news, let's see what could happen if you don't go to prom.
If you don't go to prom on May 17th, you'll wind up alone and bored. If you're alone and bored, you'll go to Taco Bell. If you go to Taco Bell, you'll order a lot of food. If you order a lot of food, you'll get very full. If you get very full, your clothes will become too tight. If your clothes are too tight, you will have to go buy new clothes. If you go buy new clothes, while you're looking, you'll find a perfect tux. If you find a perfect tux, you'll have to try it on. And if you try it on, chances are it will look so good you end up going to prom after all. Don't feel like on a mesh. Go to prom.
Since now you are officially convinced to go to prom, be sure to ask a very lovely lady to get your tickets today.
And now, for the tweet of the week.
Last Friday, AP Chemistry professor Mrs. Savage reminded her students to spend some more time with their textbooks over the weekend. Senior chemist Carl Gordon Koster took this to heart as he went on a spiritual journey through science.
Fox 19 sports director Joe Daneman visited the Braves Beat crew this week. Make sure to give him a follow at Fox 19 Joe. And yes, he is verified.
Adam Lucky offered some inspirational advice to live life to the fullest because life is a climb.
It truly is. Truly a climb. In honor of Teacher Appreciation Week, here's Sophie Bell with some special impromptu interviews.
Who is your teacher role model?
Miss Bloomstrom.
Why?
She's awesome.
Who's the toughest teacher at Indian Hill?
Probably Mr. Arcuri, because he's a baller.
What is your favorite memory with a teacher?
Eating goldfish with Mrs. McFarland.
Who is your favorite teacher and why?
Miss Bloomstrom, because she's the man. Mr. Saeed, because he's chill. Yay.
Thanks, Sophie. Be sure to thank us in the hallway. This past Wednesday, senior Marianne Miller was honored at the Anthony Munoz Foundation Straight A Luncheon for winning a $2,000 scholarship. Congrats, Marianne.
Before we go, we'd like to... excuse me, I'm sorry. We have some late-breaking news, Braves. Apparently, the roof is on fire.
But we don't need no water. No.
Let that roof burn.
Indeed, indeed.
We'd like to thank our artists, Reese Bollinger and Keely Gardner.
It looks great, girls. Nice work.
We'd also like to remind you to like our Braves Beat Facebook page, follow us on Twitter, subscribe to us on YouTube, and email us with any suggestions or school updates.
And be sure to come out tonight for our first spring sports tailgate at Tomahawk Stadium to help support your fellow athletes.
Have a wonderful weekend, Braves.
And as always, stay classy, Indian Hill. So Ajax has started requesting music be played while he eats his dinner.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, he really enjoyed Michael Jackson the other night. Amalia Guzman.
Amalia Guzman. Hi.
Keishan Chef.
Keishan Chef.
Keishan Chef.
Keishan.
Keishan.
Keshan.
No, not Kesha. That's different. Ooh, but if Keishan Chef put a $sign in his name, I'd buy that.
We'd also like to remind you to like our Braves Beat Facebook page, follow us on Twitter, subscribe, I was looking at the wrong camera, subscribe to us on YouTube, and email us with any school updates.
Ooh, doggies.
Coverage of Brave sports on the Indian Hill Television Network wouldn't be possible without the generous support of the Indian Hill Boosters, the PTO, and the ICRC. Their grants have provided us with the equipment to bring Indian Hill sports off the field or gymnasium and into the community, and we appreciate all they've done to develop our television programming.
Okay, here we are, back to start the second half. Looks like there's 24 seconds before they'll face up. Let's see if Indian Hill can pick up where they left off, Rob, and dominate the possessions at the face.
Well, Mike, we're having a little bit of scoreboard difficulty here to start the second half. There we go. 12 minutes. 7-1 Braves at the beginning of the second half. And
once
the
again,
Braves
it's
pick up
that
the ground
second
ball
and third
again.
effort, Rob, that seems to be.
Markowitz bringing it up, getting the touch, bringing it down through the back as we set up our offense. So, Mike, I think the Braves did a great job of executing their game plan. Let's see if they continue to control the possession. Markowitz, I think, has only lost one faceoff so far.
That was the first one of the game, wasn't it?
Yes. Now, he hasn't won every clamp, but his wing guys.
As we were talking, though, that's just as impressive as winning a face-off clean, is losing the clamp and coming back and fighting for the ball.
Carrier with.
I think they're going to get in the crease there.
So we got a drop. So let's see if our guys can ride this. As Seven Hills going to try their transition game again, and back there to number 5, Georgie Favell, around to number 4. So the Braves defense did an incredible job of shutting down the transition game, controlling the tempo on the defensive end of the field. They went 2-0 on man down situations, not allowing Seven Hills to score. Seven Hills' only score has been on transition. Let's see if the Braves stay that fortunate. Right now, I think Seven Hills maybe has 5 shots on goal.
I'd like to see a stat for that first half on time of possession. That's not something that you generally see in lacrosse, but I think that was significant in the favor of Indian Hill in that first half.
Yeah, you know, that's been one of the things that they've been very good at.
There's
Another turnover by Seven Hills as Ryan Mullaney brings the ball up, passes the ball to Ben Frazier, who gets tripped. And no call. I don't know how you don't get a call for a trip in there, but they didn't. And here we go. Here goes Seven Hills transition game. Braves need to drop back. They need to push him out. Ball's down.
Oh, nice little stick check right at the end there to knock the ball loose.
Another turnover. See if they bring
Schneider
it.
comes
They're
up
going to bring
with
it
the
back
ball.
to Young for the clear. As the Braves set up their clear, bringing it out top to. That was bad. That's Rory Perlman with the ball. Better get a timeout called, Coach.
I think a timeout would be appropriate. There it is.
There's
They
failure
called
to
it for
advance.
Failure to advance, Rob.
You know, on that clear opportunity, what happened is and of course, they were off camera, but what happened is the attack dropped back way too fast, not giving anybody anything to clear out to at midfield. And we got stuck in this transition game where there was a lot of fighting over ground ball. But because we had possession and they never took clean possession,
the clock keeps running on
that 30-second clock keeps running, and we weren't able to advance the ball into our offensive end. And it's a shot saved by Young again. We're bringing it over. And that's a textbook clear. So as Austin Schneider, who's an attackman, stays up above the 35-yard line to clear the ball out to him. He gets the touch. Now we bring it back out top to his brother, Zach Schneider, for the settled play. And Zach Schneider's going to go in on a dodge. They're looking for Carl Koster again.
I think they're going to continue to push that until Seven Hills tries to stop it, and then you'll see it go back out to their attack and their wing middies.
There it is. Carl Koster
And
scores
once again,
off the assist by Brad Collins. 8-1, 8:05 left. There you go.
And once again, Carl's shooting from a little farther out than he has been earlier in the season, but I think that's what the defense has given him, and Indian Hill seems to be taking advantage of it.
Well, and they're putting short sticks on all their firepower, and what's going to happen if Seven Hills coaches make the adjustment? What's going to happen is the long poles are going to start collapsing on Carl again, but we're going to go back to those alley dodges and scoring where we were so successful, and that's going to force them to go back out. And we're just going to keep playing this cat and mouse. That's been what's so potent about this Indian Hill offense is it's not just one guy that can score. Yes, Ben Frazier's leading the team in points this year with about, I think he's got about 50 total points on the season. But he's just been...
Seven Hills has come up with a rare face-off win.
And we're in transition. Nobody's picking them up. And they score. There's that transition. Well, 45 seems to want to celebrate, but boys, it's a 8-2 game, and the only time you've scored is on transition. That was a miscommunication on the defensive part. Nobody picked them up. Nobody slid for the help, and they kind of caught Indian Hill flat on their feet, and they scored. It was a great shot by number 45. Chase Gregory. I do hear that Dean Gregory offers free racks of rib every time Chase scores. So, folks, if you're listening to this game, go down to the Boathouse, Montgomery Inn, and tell Dean that you saw Chase score, that you saw Chaz score, and that you want your free rack of ribs. There's Braves have got to take care of the ball, boys. There we go. Zach Schneider with the ground ball. Going to get the touch. Let's see if Patrick Amato's going to...
Oh, he stumbles with it.
And here we go in transition. Seven Hills has numbers. As they're pushing it back to the X.
Indian Hill did a better job that time of getting back and forcing them to set up their offense.
So again, the only time that Seven Hills has scored here has been in transition. They are good ball handlers. They do move the ball very effectively, but our defense has done a great job of being patient, not overcommitting, and shutting down.
That probably a hold, Rob, wouldn't you think? Yes,
yep, it's a hold,
exactly
30 seconds. So I think that was just a tough call. John Edwards obviously was doing a great job of defending him, keeping him from rolling the cage, and his stick got kind of caught up in the player, and that's a hold. So Braves are going to be down a man again. So this will be our third man down event for the Braves, third man up opportunity for Seven Hills. Let's see if the Braves can continue to shut them out on the extra man opportunities. Braves are setting up in a 3-2 zone.
Their Seven Hills is setting up in a different man-up offense now. They've got a man on the crease where before they were just around the perimeter. Now they seem to be dropping a man, a cutter on the crease to try and get something inside.
And they swing it out top through number 11 to number 4 to number 3 to number 5 to number 21. This is going to be a turnover on the Stingers. If the Braves can come up with the ball, it's great. The Stingers maintain the ball.
And we're even, so we've just successfully.
So there's another shutout for the Braves. Man
down
defense. So we have a little bit of a nice block shot by Sam Markowitz. Chaz Gregory with the ball. See if Chaz tries to score again. We could use another rack of ribs from his father, Dean.
Yeah, I wasn't aware of that deal. I'll be rooting for Chaz the rest of the game if that's the case.
Well, maybe.
Man, those are good ribs.
Finn Quibel with the great defense and
great pressure defense.
Getting Seven Hills to cough the ball up. And Finn Quibel, if you haven't noticed, does have a set of wheels. I think he's carrying a V8 in that car. Ball to Carl Koster, who's going to get the touch. Dishes the ball to Frazier, who draws the quick double, who's going to pull the ball back out.
That was heads-up play by Ben. I could have seen Ben earlier in the season just drive that to the goal, but he brought it out to live another day.
So it's 8-2 with 4:45 left here in the third quarter, and Brendan Moore with the shot and score. Nice bounce shot by Brendan Moore.
He's got a beautiful release on that alley dodge.
So the Braves go up 9-2 with 4:42 left. The defense once again has another shutout. on man down play, which is great. The defense is playing great. They're controlling this game, forcing the Stingers to go into a settled offense, and quite frankly, we've been controlling the ball. It's hard to score when you don't have the ball.
I was going to say that. I think the fact that we've been so dominant at the face-off X and dominant on all the loose balls, it sure makes it easier on the defense and on the goalie.
Well, there's a rare opportunity. That was a face-off loss by Markowitz. That was a ward by number 10. Ball down. Indian Hill going for the ball again. That was not smart play as number 10's. And the Braves force him back into settled play. So, Mike, once again, the Braves are controlling the Stingers on their offensive side of the field by forcing them to go into settled play. The Braves have been doing very well at picking up the slides.
Oh,
nice defense by Finn Quibel.
Shot attempt that went wide.
Shot goes out of bounds. Seven Hills keeps possession. Nice check by Rory Perlman. And we have a ground ball by the man. Now, Matt, I told you, Finn Quibel has a V8. Matt Carrier has a V12.
Yes. He's fun to watch because you think he's just jogging down the field, but he's flying by guys left and right. He's got such a smooth stride. It looks like he's going about half speed, but he's passing everybody on the field.
Tonight's game is being brought to you by our good friends at Coca-Cola. And they have graciously agreed to support the Dome project here at Tomahawk Stadium. Again, you can send your money into Jeff Zitteron at the Indian Hill Athletic Department. We accept checks, cash, and of course credit cards. So earn some.
Oh, and another garbage goal by Carl Koster. That's hard to defend.
That is. That's the goalie did a great job of stopping
Ben Frazier on the wraparound, but.
Did a great job of stopping Brad Collins on the roll.
Oh, it was Brad. I'm sorry. I thought
the wraparound. Ricochets out, comes to Carl Koster, who picks the ground ball up and puts the ball over top of his head for the goal. So the Braves go up 10-2 with 2:41 left in the third quarter. At face-off is number 2, Zach Schneider. In the wings, we've got Ryan Mullaney, and I believe Patrick Amato's on the other side. I'm sorry, it's Mitch Trout on the other side of the wing. And again, the Braves are riding hard on the ups.
Seven Hills comes away with another face-off.
And here we go, transition ball. Can Seven Hills capitalize? I know the ball's loose. This is going to at least force them to set up their settled offense. So again, the Braves have come up good stopping the transition game. You kind of see a little bit of a desperation in Seven Hills' game right now. But, folks, this team is capable of putting up goals quickly. They're capable of playing against the best. They went toe-to-toe with Marymount, and there you go.
There's a nice alley dodge in the goal. Didn't seem like there was much of a slide there on the defense, Rob.
That was number 11 for Tucker Robinson.
There's also a flag down on that play. I wonder if that'll get waved off or if it was a personal foul.
I didn't see the call.
He threw the flag, but he picked it up. I think he's probably going to wave it off on the goal. Now they'll do that on a technical foul.
Nope,
if a goal is scored.
we're going man down again.
Oh, it must have been a personal foul then.
So it looks like Matt Carrier's in the box for the Braves as Zach Schneider takes
taking the face-off. Oh,
another. Drop in, Zach.
Possession for.
It's a fast whistle, boys.
We're a man down for what, the 5th time now? Is this our 5th man down?
This is our 5th man down. The Braves have stopped every extra man opportunity. I believe this is going to be a minute man down, so this is probably going to take us to about the 45-second mark of the game. they score.
Nice goal.
That's a great score by number 3, Andrew Head.
That was the first time that Seven Hills ran a man-up offense that really did look effective. They moved the ball very quickly and crisply and found the man down on the crease. We've said before, that's a very difficult shot to stop.
So it's a 10-4 game. Again, Seven Hills has only scored on transition and man-up opportunities. Let's see if the Braves can. Got Sam Markowitz at the X again, going against Ike Lanier for Seven Hills. And Markowitz wins the face-off cleanly.
Oh, it's a shot to the back.
Sam, you got to take care of the stick. Frazier gets the ground ball. That's a great ground ball, great heads-up play by Ben Frazier.
Very nice of Ben to come up from attack to help with that.
So the question is, will the Braves are going to set up their offense here, and they're looking, looks like they might be trying to set Jimmy Salamini up for the score. Jimmy dishes it back to around to Frazier.
If you were the Seven Hills coach, is this about time you'd start to shut down Carl Koster in the middle? He's got 5.
You know,
it looks like they are. They're double teaming Carl in the middle.
Shot by Salamini, ricochets off the goalie and goes out of bounds. So remain Braves ball with 23 seconds left. As Collins brings it in, goes head to head against his defender and shoots. It goes wide. It's going to be Braves ball.
With 14 seconds left. Austin Schneider brings it in. Up to the top to Ben Frazier. Nice pass. Couldn't handle it.
And we've got 5 seconds. They need to send it quickly if they're going to try to score. And it's a shot. And it's going to go wide. So at the end of 3, Mike, it's 10-4. Again, the Braves control possession. They played smart offense, controlling the time of the clock. They're winning the ground ball battle. They're winning at the face-off X, and their defense is probably the big story of the night. Have really come into their own. They've shut down Seven Hills in their transition game. Just so people are aware, Seven Hills is averaging about 13 goals a game. So shutting them down to 4 goals after 3 quarters is huge.
That's phenomenal. And that third quarter, Seven Hills got better than their share of the face-offs. So I think they had more possessions and they were successful on a man-up opportunity, which they hadn't been yet tonight.
So I'm scanning the crowd, looking to see if Dean Gregory's in the crowd tonight. I don't see him. I'm looking for his wife, Hetty, just so we can confirm every goal that Chaz Gregory scores, all participants and all fans at the game, regardless of their school, receives a rack of ribs at the Montgomery Inn Boathouse. Tonight's game, again, is being brought to you by the Montgomery Inn Boathouse and Coca-Cola. So, if I'm Seven Hills, Mike, what do I do to stop this Braves offense?
I was going to ask you that earlier. If you were the coach at Seven Hills, what do you do to stop that offense? Because it looks pretty potent right now. It seems like we basically score wherever the defense allows us to score. They have to make a decision to cover the crease man, or they have to make a decision to stay on the wing players. And Indian Hill's been doing a good job of finding the open man.
You know, it's a tough thing for Seven Hills. They've done a good job of trying to get their offense going. They've won a lot of their games this year in that transition game. Talking to several coaches around the area, Brian Cross at Milford said, if you don't stop their transition game, they're gonna kill you. And we've done that effectively on our side of the field. As I said at the beginning of the game, it's tough to defend against a team that has 6 scorers out on the field.
Yes. And we've got probably that many guys have scored tonight.
Yeah, we've had 6 or 7 score tonight. I'm sure they're going to try to get Jimmy Salamini the opportunity, and there's Sam.
Sam comes up with another face-off win.
So he's not perfect tonight, but never is a face-off guy perfect. Very rarely you see a guy go 70%. Go 70%, and that's about what Markowitz is tonight at 70%. Ball's down in the offensive end for the Braves with Ben Frazier behind the goal. and Austin Schneider in the right wing. Ball's up top now to Matt Carrier. No, I'm sorry, that's to Ben Brendamore, who's bringing it around the top. It looks like they're going to give him the green light to dodge against number 10. He's going to dish the ball to number 2, Zach Schneider. And joining us in the booth is Mike Collette, one of the godfathers of lacrosse here in Cincinnati. A lot of these Indian Hill Braves, Mike, as I said earlier, played for Mike Collette as 7th graders. So this is a heavy offense that
Ben Brendamore takes another nice shot, bounces it over the goal.
Mike loves taking credit when they're performing right, and here goes Frazier, dodging in, trying to roll. Dishes the ball to Brendamore, who's going to pass it down to Zach Schneider and back to the X to Austin Schneider. So, you know, not only did Mike Collette help build the Indian Hill program years ago and has transitioned over to build the Seven Hills, and this Seven Hills team is going to be fun to watch next year. Shot missed by Matt Carey, goes out of bounds. The Braves will retain possession of the ball. Mike is a strong believer in youth programs, middle school. That's where the fundamentals are taught. And it's very evident with the Seven Hills squad that he's done a great job of getting these guys prepared at the middle school level for Nick Rywee. This ball is going to go out of bounds on the shot.
Possession by Indian Hill.
And it's going to stay possession.
Quick
Zach Schneider with the ball.
Zach Schneider's bringing it in.
Nice
save
stop
by the
by
goalie.
Jorge. You know, Jorge's having a great game tonight. Just too much firepower on the Braves side of the field. See if the Braves can knock down this clear again. They've done a great job of isolating Seven Hills. 45, Ches Gregory. Well, there's a second set of rack of ribs for all the fans in attendance tonight. Dean Gregory will be offering 2 racks of ribs to all attendees to tonight's game.
Can't hardly wait. We should head down there after the game, Rob.
So, you know, that was a nice score by Jazz, and we're now at 10-5 with 9:50 left in the 4th quarter. Looks like the Braves are bringing out some of their younger guys. In a defense for the Braves now is number 37, I believe. That is. This is the hard part when they give jerseys to guys. 37 is an extra jersey. I believe that is Devin Heffernan.
Was Devin in the game?
Seven Hills wins the faceoff. Mike, remember what I told you. This Seven Hills team is very capable of putting scores on the board very quickly, especially in that transition. And the Braves once again are playing man down. Seven Hills has not scored on their extra man opportunities yet tonight.
No, they had the one.
They did have the one. That's right. So the Braves have shut them down 6 times. This is the 7th time they've had an extra man opportunity. And I believe this time is going to be a 1-minute opportunity for them. So we'll go even at about 8:48. I like that Coach McKay has brought out Devin to play. Shot wide, goes out of bounds. Seven Hills. About 10 seconds left in this extra man opportunity for Seven Hills, Mike. George Favell, their scorer. Ball's down. Swinging it back to number 21, who's going to shoot and go wide.
We should be even.
And we're all wide. Well, it's been a very clean game tonight. Very few flags, couple technicals against the Braves in this game, but that was only the 2nd personal foul of the entire game. Nice save by Young. Ryan Mullaney picks the ball up. He's bringing it out of the defensive end, passes it up to Carl Koster, who has the ball.
Briefly loses it, but picks it back up again.
To Austin Schneider. On the right side, as the Braves are going to bring in their offensive firepower. Coming into the game, we've got Jimmy Salamini. We've got Zach Schneider up top.
Ben
Carl
Brendamore
Koster.
down the left side.
And Brad Collins, along with Ben Frazier.
Oh, Brendamore's got a wide open alley. There it is, another
And
goal
shot,
for Ben.
Score. So we go 11-5 with 7:52 left in the game. So I wish we had a third set of headphones here for Mr. Collette. One of the things that I think is promising for Seven Hills is how young this team is. I think they're 16 of their
Here, I'm gonna
15s.
toss my headphones over to Mike Collette here for a moment.
So joining us in the booth tonight is Mike Collette from Seven Hills, the middle school coach, also a native Indian Hill guy who is responsible for growing a lot of lacrosse programs here in Cincinnati, not just Indian Hill, not just Seven Hills, but around the city. This is going to be a win for Seven Hills, and we're in transition. Let's see if they can capitalize. Devin Heffernan here on number 3. So the freshman in his first varsity appearance this season. Let's see how he does. Mike, what's been your guys' success this year at the varsity level? It seems like transition has been the name of your guys' game.
There's a very athletic midfield. These kids are great athletes. They had a very successful soccer season. They were one game short of going to the Final Four in soccer. Lost in a heartbreaking overtime loss to Summit. But there's some great athletes on this team. I think there's real strengths in the midfield, which is why they're so powerful in transition. And the other thing that's made a huge difference this year is face-offs, and their face-off guy is just a freshman, Reed Russell. He's just done a terrific job for them this year. That's made another huge difference.
So I noticed that the face-off guy is wearing number 28 on the roster. That's stated as Ike Lanier. So you're saying that's Frank Russell?
That would Reed Russell. That probably means Reed forgot his jersey.
Typical freshman.
Yeah, exactly. One time on a hockey game in college, and I brought 2 left skates. That one didn't end well either.
So let's see if the Braves come up with the ground ball. Are we going to get a push call here? We are. It's going to be Braves ball. Another great defensive play by the Braves.
It's been interesting. I got here a little late to the game, but Coster has had an amazing game. Just been dominant, and really the player that we have not had an answer for here at Seven Hills. It's been fun to watch. Deadly shot. He's been a sniper down around the net.
Mike and I were talking, Mike, earlier, that one of the tough parts about defending against Indian Hill is Carl, because when he's down in that kind of red zone area, it forces you to bring a defender on him and forces your second slide guy to play a little closer than maybe he wants to. We're going to go transition ball here. That was great defense by Seven Hills, Mike.
That's Stefan Antonsen. He's probably one of the best defenders, in my opinion, in the city.
Another score in transition by Seven Hills. So like I said earlier, Seven Hills is very capable of putting up lots of points. I think you guys are averaging 12 or 13 points a game. Coming into the fourth quarter, we've done a good job of holding you to 4, and you guys have quickly put 2 goals up here in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, it's never a good idea when a team naps through a half. Personally, I've been a big believer, which apparently they decided to do in the first half of the game today. They just really didn't show up.
To Seven Hills' defense, Indian Hill probably controlled the ball 90% of the time. They didn't have a whole lot of opportunities. They probably in the first half had 5 shots on goal.
That will also make a difference.
Sam Markowitz is probably winning. On the season, he's probably winning about 80% of his face-offs.
But that's the only way they're going to get back now, is they're going to have to win face-offs if they're going to get back in this game. And not do stuff like that.
So let's see who comes up with the ground ball here. It's going to be a blue ball. Fans are calling for a push on that, Mike. I think it was more him tripping over his own feet, but hustling after ground balls. That's a new thing for the Indian Hill Braves this year. Is they're going after ground balls like they haven't in the past. And it's paid off dividends. In all our games, we've led our opponents in ground balls, and I don't think that's any different tonight, which has been some of what the score is.
Well, that's a real testament, I think, to Coach McKay. He's a big believer. We always used to preach the magic formula in lacrosse, and possession times conversion equals outcome. And possession is a very important part of the game. And if you can win ground balls, in most, I'll tell you, it can happen, but generally speaking, the team that wins the most ground balls,
great defense
face-offs usually wins the game.
by Patrick Amato. And Patrick Amato, I didn't realize he had a V8 in that engine either. And Carl Coster with the shot, goes wide. It's going to go out of bounds. So the Braves once again shut down Seven Hills in their settled play. I was telling Mike earlier before you came in that most of the, I think all but one, have come off of extra man opportunity or transition play tonight for Seven Hills, which is a testament to where our defense has come from. We started the season and Ben Brindamore with a rocket of a shot.
That's his offhand, isn't it?
That's as Coach McKay would have said in middle school, Mike, that's a milkshake goal. So Coach McKay will be buying Ben Brindamore a milkshake after the game. And just to remind our fans again, Dean Gregory is offering 2 racks of ribs to all attendees tonight's game. For the 4 people that watch this program, Mike, after it's aired, one being Coach McKay.
The other big difference I see this year, Indian Hill playing with a lot more discipline. Very few unforced errors.
I think that's a flag that they're calling him with a push with possession. I don't know that he had possession ever. And so Austin Schneider's going to sit in the box. And once again, all the flags tonight have come against the Braves. This will be another technical foul against the Braves. This, I think, will be either their 8th or 9th extra man opportunity, Mike. I think the Braves have done a great job of shutting down the extra man opportunities.
They have. That's been a weakness for Seven Hills all season, actually. They need to, they're going to really compete in the playoffs and make a run. They've got to get better at converting on their man-up opportunities.
But I got to tell you, Mike, the difference in your team this year from last year is huge. I would say this is probably the most improved Division II team. Matt Young with a great save.
Huge save.
So for those of you that aren't aware, Matt Young has signed a national letter of intent to go to Florida Tech. Mike, why don't you talk about that, because I'm not allowed to talk about it.
I'll tell you, they're lucky. The 2 things you got to have if you're going to build a great team, one is a great face-off guy, and the next one is a great goaltender, and they got a great one with Matt. And it's funny, I can just see he's really frustrated the kids tonight, and Matt, Rob can't say this, but I can, is one of the best goaltenders, not only in Southern Ohio, but probably entire state. And they're really lucky to get a great goaltender down there in Florida.
It's great. Now you're going to be making some visits down there to visit him, I assume?
It's going to be, yeah, January, February, March, tough call, but it's a lot nicer down there than it is up here in Cincinnati those months, which is when the lacrosse season starts. So
Matt's looked good all night tonight. The other thing is those high, trying to beat Matt up high is a fool's mission.
Now that's what I've noticed with you guys. You guys have done a great job of teaching your guys how to do the bounce shots, which attests to you and Coach McKay, who have coached together for years, have known each other for years, because that's how Indian Hills scored most of their goals against Jorge tonight, has been on bounce shots. A few rockets from the outside. I'm shocked that they haven't called a holding there.
If you talk to any goalie, they'll tell you that's the shot they fear most, especially on grass, because you never know where it's going. Of course, we don't see many more games on grass anymore, do we?
No. What's the call there, Mike?
Timeout.
By Braves? Braves timeout with 1:35 left. Once again, the Braves have put double digits up on the scoreboard. They've held an opponent who's notorious for putting double digits up. The only game I think that you guys haven't put double digits up was against Marymount, and that was a close game.
That was a great game. Absolutely a superb game. And I'll tell you, Indian Hill, from the games that I've seen, it's looking like probably, no question, the strongest D2 team right now in Southern Ohio. Of course, that game against Marymount toward the end of the season is going to be the game of the season to watch.
So the Braves are going to come out of this one and not trying to be disrespectful to Seven Hills, but putting 6 goals up in a minute 35 is really difficult. So the Braves are going to come out of here with another win. Seven Hills has still got a great record. I think that keeps you guys probably in the top 3 of the division down south. Probably keep you still in the top 20 of the state. And the great news for Seven Hill is every single starter that you have here, and probably 2 deep, is coming back next year.
Absolutely. The whole team essentially is coming. I think they lose 1 player next year, so this whole team will be back. And I'll tell you, I think they're going to be a team to contend with next year. And that's the guy right there that's going to be leaving. Is that Trey?
I think so.
Ah! A nice attempt. I know you get desperate to get the ball back.
Yeah. I think, but there's 2 flags on the field. They're actually, we're going to be even. Question is what the calls are. So Seven Hills is going down a man probably for a slash, which will be a minute penalty. Max Sutterbrack's going out, it looks like. Probably unnecessary roughness, which will be a non-releasable.
Well, I'm going to turn it back over to Coach Fruland here. Let him finish out. I've enjoyed my time in the booth. You guys got a great setup up here. Outstanding.
Hey, make sure you
the
contribute.
hibachi, ribs.
Make sure you contribute to the Dome Fund.
The which fund?
The Dome Fund. We're raising money to put a dome over Tomahawk Stadium.
Outstanding. All right, I will make sure I do that. On the way, I was wondering what that person wanted money for. Outstanding. I'll do that. All right, back to you guys. It was fun watching the game.
Thanks for joining us,
Great job
Mike.
calling it. Take care.
Good luck with the rest of the season, Coach. Well, the officials are conferring on the field here. Should be even play because Indian Hill has a man in the box and Seven Hills has a man in the box.
I guess it just depends with which one lasts the longest. We haven't been able to watch Indian Hill's man-up offense yet tonight. It'd be kind of nice to see it at least once. Well, that was nice to have Coach Collette stop in and say hi.
Well, this is interesting.
So we're playing 5-on-5 lacrosse.
Well, one of the things that I've noticed here is that all the flags have gone against the Braves even here. So we're playing even. Well, it's 5-on-5. There's a minute 25 left. You got to think that Coach McKay has told them take it behind the box. Neither one of them are. They're both 1 minute penalties. Releasable.
Oh, they are both 1 minute?
Yeah. I should say, I think it is. The officials did not signal non-releasable on either one of the penalties. So at about the 25-second mark, we should go all even at 6 guys. And nice stop by Jorge. Braves retain the possession.
Matt Carey wide open at the top. Oh, Ben Frazier off the pipe.
And this will be maintained by Indian Hill.
And we're even
all
6 on
even,
6.
6 on 6. 19 seconds left in the game, Mike. And the Braves are, if I'm Coach McKay, I'm letting the boys kind of I think they're just going to kill it here.
They're just killing the clock. Well, that was an impressive victory. The third quarter, they came out, and I'm not so sure they didn't let down just a little bit in the third quarter after that really strong first half. But other than that third quarter, they were extremely dominant at the face-off X. They were extremely dominant on the ground balls, and our offense was very potent.
Yeah, Mike, to wrap this up tonight, 12-6, great performance by the defense, I think, is the story of tonight. Obviously, the offense was too potent for Seven Hills. That's why there's 12 points on the board. But the Seven Hills offense is an offense that puts double digits up all the time. The only team that's held them to single digits was Marymount. We come in here, we hold them to 6. Marymount held them to 7. I think the season's going to come down to that last game of the year against Marymount. But before we get there, we face Summit Friday night here at Tomahawk Stadium, where you and I will be back on the air, bringing the game. And then next week we go to Sycamore a week from tonight to play another D1 opponent. The Braves are loaded with D1 opponents. We'll be back after that on the 9th with Turpin here at Tomahawk Stadium. And then we go to St. X on the 12th, to Mason. Then Mason comes to us on the 14th. And we end up the season at Marymount on the 16th, going into the state playoffs to determine who's probably the Division II top-seeded team out of the Southwest region.
It seems like that's the way it's going to be in Division II, and it's just appropriate that we're finishing the season off against Marymount, who obviously won the state championship last year, and I believe has most of their guys back this year, so they should be a very strong opponent.
They will be a very strong opponent, but Mike, I'm looking forward to Friday night with you here in the booth. Ladies and gentlemen, thanks for tuning in and watching the IHN network with us, and we'll be here Friday night bringing you Indian Hill versus Summit out of Tomahawk Stadium. I'm Rob Young with Mike Fruland. Good night, stay brave, and stay classy, folks.
Rob, let's go get some ribs.
Sounds good. See you then.
Let us know what you think of this sports production on the Indian Hill Television Network by calling our viewer feedback phone at 272-4590. Phone lines are open 24 hours a day, so give us a call and tell us how we're doing. The Indian Hill Television Network would not have been possible without the support of the following contributors: Buskin Bakery, Hoppy Sign Company, Tim Rudy, Mr. Cassidy, Steve Ginn, the Indian Hill Boosters, PTO, and Maintenance Department, and the ICRC. Exclusive coverage of tonight's game on the Indian Hill Television Network has been a copyrighted presentation of the Indian Hill High School Video Department.